So welcome everyone to this month's Ask Max Anything. As you probably already know, we do those AMAs every month, normally on Discord in a written format in the general channel on Lisk.chat. This month, however, we decided to do it on YouTube live. So yeah, very excited to be here. We listen to your feedback, so happy to answer all your questions. Max, welcome to the AMA.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy to be here. It's a first for us, at least in the recent years. So super excited to see how it goes and what we can learn from it in order to make it even better in the future.
Sure. Let's see how it works, and if you guys like it, of course, we will consider doing it every month probably. So yeah, since last AMA, we had really big achievements, great things happened at Lisk. I will mention a few of them just so you are also aware of everything that we did in May. We had Lisk.com, we launched with a refreshed website, a bit more focus on developers and just to make it as accessible as possible. We, of course, had Lisk.js, our annual developer-focused event in May, which was a great success. Everyone loved it, and we finally revealed the interoperability solution. And, of course, shortly after, we also published the 12 libs on the research forum. We had other development updates and releases like Lisk SDK 5.1.0. Also had a really nice demo by Nazar, which was basically building a blockchain application live on stage. We also announced, of course, the Hack on Lisk, our first ever online hackathon that we host. So make sure to check that out. To apply if you want to build a blockchain application. We also introduced the Lisk Grant Program, developer program where we support and incentivize developers to build their blockchain applications, which is running on a long term. And this month, we also, in May, we also hosted the first or most dedicated marketing AMA, which I did on Discord. Was also very interesting and nice to chat with you. So let's see if we do it again, hopefully next month. So yeah, really cool month. Very happy to be here again and to ask Max all the questions.
Yeah, wow. I mean, there were so many things happening in May alone. So I hope you have your questions prepared. Else just check it out in the chat box here. You can just type your questions in there. And yeah, Miguel then from the Lisk team will collect them. And Monica will ask me then all the good questions you have on your mind. So
I already see questions coming in even before we started. So let's get started. First question is from BitPay Dynamic. Thanks for being here. He asked, has the Lisk buybacks for June commenced already?
Let me tell a little bit more about the whole topic of buybacks. So we announced that we are going to liquidate 300 Bitcoin into USDC. It's a stable coin which holds the value always at $1. And this happened, I think, for 6 weeks or so, or 8 weeks, and was concluded end of May. So all the Bitcoin are now liquidated, and they yielded around 15 point something million USDC. And now it was quite a process because first of all, we are working together with BlockFi and Bitcoin Swiss together in order to make that happen, where BlockFi is, the provider to lend away these USDC so that we can earn passive income or interest. And Bitcoin Swiss is our, partner in, first of all, liquidating the Bitcoin into USDC, but then also with the interest earned to purchase LSK back from the market. And the current state is as follows, and this is how it will run every month. At the end of the month, we are checking how many USDC were paid to us as interest. This month, it was a little bit over 30,000 USDC because it was only half a month and not all the money was on BlockFi yet. And then we have to send whatever we want to send to Bitcoin Swiss. That means how much we want to purchase LSK for, to Bitcoin Swiss. We have to send them also the report, the monthly one from BlockFi, in order to let them know this is actually also coming from BlockFi. And then Bitcoin Swiss is purchasing LSK every day for the entire month. So I guess the question also rose because there was like a very big spike up just recently in the LSK price, but this was not us, because we are going to purchase LSK very consistently on a daily basis throughout the entire month. And this has not begun yet. The account on Bitcoin Swiss is created, it's verified, it's authenticated. The report was sent to Bitcoin Swiss. We received the interest on BlockFi side. And the only thing missing now is actually sending over the money. We are going to send less than the 30K this time, the first time around, because I want a nice and round number. I think it will then always stay at 15.2 million USDC. So that this month it's just a smaller number, but then going forward, you can calculate it yourself. It's going to be 15.2 times 0.086 divided by 12. It's over 100K USDC every month, which we are going to use to buy back LSK tokens. And we're doing all of that in order to acquire new LSK tokens, which we can use then to incentivize developers in our Lisk Grant Program. For us, it's not the main priority to prop up the markets or anything like that. The main priority here is by a very far degree to support developers. And we want to do it, twofold. Once financially, but then also in a financial currency which has something to do with Lisk, and this is the LSK token. So they are really incentivized to build their blockchain application to just create value for the Lisk ecosystem. And I think it's a great initiative we are taking, and really looking forward to all the amazing blockchain applications coming out of the Lisk Grant Program.
Yeah, super excited for that as well. I think many other questions about the buyback coming in, but you definitely gave a clear explanation how we are doing it. So yeah, thanks for that. The next question comes from Dreamhouse, and is, in your opinion, Max, will Lisk become an even more popular blockchain project?
If it becomes, or when?
It will become or not?
I mean, of course, that's what I'm working for every day since over 5 years now, to make Lisk a success, a sustainable success. I think with, Lisk.js 2019, we revealed the entire research process. We published so many protocol improvements. And then this year at Lisk.js 2021, we showed that actually all of these protocol improvements were implemented, but then we essentially reached our final or most important milestone for the entire Lisk project, Lisk interoperability. And it, as you mentioned when we began, resulted in 12 core libs published at Lisk.js 2021, but then also we had supporting libs published before and a few ones still coming after. It's a huge research effort, and with that we actually proved that we can also deliver on the ICO promise Oliver and I made in January 2016. So yeah, I think Lisk is positioned very good to be a success going forward. I'm not talking about price, about market cap, whatever. I'm talking about technology. I'm talking about building blockchain technology use cases with our Lisk SDK and connecting it later through Lisk interoperability to our blockchain application platform. And there I see definitely a very, very good chance for Lisk to succeed. Just the developer experience improvements in Lisk SDK 5.1, I heard in the community, they were like, oh God, why didn't that come before? It's such a huge improvement to the whole development process, how it was just before 5.1. And this is just the beginning. With interoperability implemented, we really look forward to be a platform. Until this point, we've not been a platform. We're just a blockchain where you can send some LSK token around and vote for a delegate. But then once interoperability is implemented, you can send tokens into any of these side chains and use their hopefully quite diverse and innovative use cases. So I'm really looking forward to that. And if that's the case, if that's happening, and I'm very, very sure it will, then I think Lisk is a success, yes.
Yeah, I think the popularity comes also with those two upcoming or running developer programs that we have, the hackathon and the grant program, because as people start building production-ready applications, and of course, it will become more and more popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, for me, it's like, let's say we are going to release some kind of a beta version next year of interoperability. And that means from 2022 all the way before to 2016, we were in a building phase. We were not in like a production ready state. We were just still building our platform. And essentially that means we were not live yet, or we're still not live today. But that will be a paradigm shift for our entire project and how we behave, how we operate. And you see first efforts now already with Hack on Lisk or the hackathon towards like getting then the platform up and running and supported by an amazing ecosystem. Just recently, we've seen these efforts also with the Lisk Explorers by the community, Lisk Observer and Lisk Scan, which are extremely nicely done. And I think we will see amazing blockchain applications also more and more popping up from the community.
Yeah, being ready just to, when the implementation of the interoperability is done, to have the platform ready to run.
I so look forward to that.
Cool, yeah, thanks for the answer. The next question is a bit more general about media partners, and we had, we definitely had media partners, but also partners for Lisk.js. The question is, why did media partners not write anything about Lisk.js after the event?
So I have like I'm not sure how it's called, but on Google there's this option that you can get notified if an article is mentioning Lisk or like blockchain application, any keyword. And I have it set up for Lisk, and I think somewhere this week, BTC Echo published in German an article, but quite a few others also have reported about Lisk.js and about our continued efforts, which were all presented at Lisk.js. I can't remember which ones exactly, but there were like at least 5 or so writing about Lisk after Lisk.js.
Yeah, so I will help a bit here. We have the Cointelegraph one coming up, so it's in the process. We also have other media partners, of course, publishing about the interoperability solution being revealed. We just published the recap of Lisk.js today, so more is coming, but they will definitely do that. So some did already, and some are coming this week, next week as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of writing, publishing.
Yeah, I think also it was quite a sprint before the event, getting everything ready in time and organized. And it was so much more important to first line up all these announcements before so that more people watch the event. And everything now is coming step by step. Like we had so many blog posts just like this week and last week as well. And there are a few more still coming. And so are news articles, are the blog posts, videos. I'm gonna kickstart video creation for my channel again. It was just too much work before Lisk.js. So yeah, so much more is to come. But I have to say we are just in a very different position now. And I think that can be very well appreciated with all the lips about interoperability being there and just ready for everyone to dive deep into them.
Yeah, and yesterday we also published the videos, the individual videos of each presentation, which can be used definitely in those articles that are being published. So it's just a matter of time. Super excited to read about this Google alert. Next question is about dynamic fees. When do the transaction fees become dynamic and not the 0.1 Lisk flat rate?
So we're currently development-wise in the Emerald phase, and that comes with all the protocol improvements announced at Lisk.js 2019. This comes with a dynamic fee system. It comes with the updated DPoS consensus algorithm, with the finality engine, or however it's called, the BFT consensus algorithm. It comes with a new address system and a much more scalable and secure and robust peer-to-peer layer. There's so many changes. I don't need to reiterate on them again, but well, it will come with that. And this will come in the version Lisk mainnet version 3 or Lisk Core 3.0.0. We are currently finishing up Lisk Desktop 2.0.0 Beta 4, which comes with the last missing feature of multi-signature transactions in our wallet. Once that is done, there's still like a few dozen issues open on GitHub. They will be all being handled in the RC version of Lisk Desktop 2.0.0. So that means currently it's planned that one sprint will be used in order to fix as many bugs as possible and then build the RC0 version. And with that, we are able to launch the testnet version 3, as we just announced also in the blog post with the next steps in development. And once the testnet was successfully migrated, we can take some learnings out of it, see if everything ran perfectly fine. And if that's the case, then we can start with the preparations for the Lisk mainnet version 3 migration. At Lisk.js, we announced like approximate timelines with the testnet migration happening in summer and the mainnet migration happening in fall. So here we have a rough schedule, but we're like that close to being done. It was a huge job, and I'm immensely proud in the team delivering all these new features. And yeah, with that, dynamic fees are coming as well. Very similar to how it works on Bitcoin. There are a few like additional features or aspects of it, like you have to have a minimum LSK balance on your account to prevent like spam on the network. A little bit of the fee is also burned to prevent like a security hole if like a delegate sends a transaction. There are like many smaller things in it as well, but it's coming relatively soon.
Very excited, yeah. Definitely. The next question is from Key Moore. How are the applications with the developer incentive program going? I think he meant the grant program.
Mm-hmm. So, we have these two programs, or one program and one more like a online event, a hackathon going on right now. So with the grant program, we received a few emails, but we saw that it's not clear enough how people should apply. So we're optimizing that right now. But essentially, people who want to build something with the Lisk SDK and want to receive the grant, they need to gather first a small team, create a pitch deck as a presentation, create a business plan, and then apply with the whole package. They don't, or they shouldn't just tell us they're interested in it. They should prepare everything beforehand and then apply at once. And for that, I think it's too soon because it's quite a few materials which need to be created. We got some emails, but they were all not following this specified preparation scheme. So we really have to get the messaging there right in order to get then promising blockchain applications for the grant program. But for the hackathon, we have, I think, over 150 participants signed up. It doesn't mean that all of them are going to develop something, but I'm super curious first what's coming out of there, because we timed it in a way that the hackathon finishes, and then the first wave of the Lisk Grant Program finishes shortly after that. So all the developers of the hackathon of Hack on Lisk are able to apply still for the first wave of the grant program. But I do also think we need to push then the grant program quite hard afterwards in order to get these quality submissions.
Yeah, definitely. I think for the the hack on Lisk, they can also apply as one person, so they can build alone. While for the grant program, it requires a bit more of a team, a business plan. And I also see it as a benefit to be part of the Hack on Lisk online hackathon, because then, of course, we already see your application, we see the submission, the video, the team behind it, if there is one. So definitely excited to see what's coming in the first wave. Probably many from the hack on Lisk. That's what I expect.
Yeah.
And then for the second wave, a lot of marketing should be done there, just to promote the program further.
Yeah. So key more, if you have some time on your hands, participate in Hack on Lisk, get your hands dirty there. And if you like the Lisk SDK, if you want to make it your career, I can just suggest you that. Well, then apply with your idea and the whole package to the Lisk Grant Program, so that we can get you funded and you're going to develop an amazing use case for the Lisk ecosystem.
Yeah. Next question is about hiring, but more about Light Curve. Are you expanding the backend team to accommodate the interoperability changes?
Mm-hmm. So whoever is not that familiar with how we operate, so we have the Lisk Foundation, which is basically owning all the IP rights to the Lisk project, has all the money we're operating with, and has a legal team, a finance team, and like a managing director to essentially manage all of that and to oversee the project. And then we have Light Curve, which is a German-based, a Berlin-based development, research, and marketing studio for the Lisk project exclusively. Both were founded by my partner, Oliver Beddoes, and myself. So it's a very close collaboration between these two entities. And if we're talking about hiring in this regard, it's always hiring within Light Curve. And well, we have a great team of backend developers who which worked on all the protocol improvements during the Emerald phase. And now that we are entering the Sapphire phase, that means interoperability, well, these resources will obviously jump onto that new topic. So we are fully covered there. However, we see some like missing resources in development in general, especially on the user interface side. We see that developing Lisk Desktop 2.0.0 took too long. So we are, increasing our human resources there. We're hiring more people into our UI team. I'm not sure if the job descriptions are already online, but we're looking for more Lisk Desktop and Lisk Mobile developers, increasing the team in general. And, with I think my last slide on Lisk.js 2021, I announced that we are beginning to internally develop blockchain applications as well with the Lisk SDK. And here we're going to create like small like mini teams which are taking care of that. So there's also an increased hiring effort going on in the coming months. This has not begun yet, but it's coming. So yeah, we are going to hire a few more people in general. We are going to scale up our efforts going forward. But looking back over the 5 years of our experience running the Lisk Foundation and Light Curve, I definitely don't want to scale the team up dramatically. I think this was back in the day, we did that at one point, not the best decision. And it was a very wise decision to scale it back down again. And here we have to really be very careful to not scale it up too quickly or too dramatically. So everything happens right now quite strategically and quite aligned with our time frames on the product side. But yeah, to answer the question for short, yes, we're going to hire a few more people.
Cool. Then the next question is from Richard. What is the status of the legal opinion in United States?
So that's a super tricky one. So essentially what I was saying back in the time in my YouTube video is that no US-based exchange would actually list us, currently at least, if we don't have a legal opinion from the US stating that we are not a security token, that LSK is not a security token. There are some US exchanges which listed LSK. I'm not 100% certain right now if Poloniex, for example, is US-based, but they listed us back in 2016, same as Bittrex, which is definitely US-based. But 2016 was kind of a different time, so they still did it. And then more recently, Kraken also listed us. I think it was 2019.
Lisk.js.
At Lisk.js, okay, yeah, 2019. And well, on the one side, definitely it was a very different landscape, but also exchanges cannot demand the legal opinion from us, but they can do an internal legal analysis or like a compliance check. And I guess Kraken did that in order to list us with confidence. So I guess this question always comes up in order to get an answer to when are we on Coinbase or when are we on Binance US. In terms of the progress, we contacted initially 5 and then 1 more legal firm based in the US, and 2 didn't reply, and the others said they don't do that anymore. They don't provide cryptocurrencies with legal opinions anymore. It's too risky and it's too unpredictable. There would be a way to get in contact with the SEC over a very long time frame, get everything checked, but that would first of all take too much time and would be insanely expensive, and then also a little bit risky because you don't know the outcome. So what our strategy here is now for the next weeks and months is that we are working with a Swiss law firm together, which creates, first of all, a new legal opinion under Swiss law for the LSK token, just an updated view on things, but then also tries to create parallels to the US law in order to see where are we aligned, where is it quite likely that the LSK token is maybe like a utility token or a payment token, but not a security token. Legal opinions are always about risk management, so it's not a black and white thing. It's always we lean more towards that view or that opinion. But that's our current take in order to get a legal opinion which just analyzes a little bit how we would stand in the US, and then we would with that go to the US exchanges in order to create a good relationship and see if that's maybe enough, because currently no US law firm doesn't create legal opinions. So it's like a catch-22. You require them unless the exchange takes the risk and does the compliance process internally, but you require them in most cases, but you cannot get them. So yeah, catch-22. We are looking also towards other efforts in being able to do more with exchanges. We're quite limited with the Lisk Foundation in what we are allowed to do. For example, we never paid any listing fee ever, and we are not going to, but it's also because we are not allowed to. Similar things are maybe trading competitions or marketing promotional activities with exchanges. They're very borderline or grayish, not always clear if we are actually allowed to do it or not. So we're looking into ways to also facilitate that more in order, to build a bigger base community of users, which then the developers building blockchain applications on our platform are benefiting from. So yeah, we're having still quite a few strategies in our pockets here to deploy, but it's really challenging. It's really tricky. But I hope that at one point we can get it done in order to let US based users purchase LSK tokens to benefit from our platform. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I think that's a question that pops very often on Lisk.chat, and yeah, we have also very strong community there, so totally understandable. But we definitely do lots of efforts there to get us listed.
Yeah, I think the US is definitely a market where we need to be in. Like Monica, you said, we have many users from the US. We have like quite a few meetup groups in different cities. We have quite a few very active community members pushing Lisk forward. So yeah, it's on our priority list, but it is challenging. It takes a long time communicating with lawyers back and forth. So yeah, let's see what comes out of that. But we are also trying other ways. And well, we are doing the Swiss opinion, but we're still trying to get a real US legal opinion. But like I said, so far everyone declined. But let's see.
Yeah, fingers crossed there. Another question from Superfood. How many people are using the Lisk SDK? Do you feel Lisk reach enough audience at the moment?
I think Lisk doesn't reach enough or enough audiences or developers. I think there's so much more to do. I mean, just looking at the quality of our Lisk SDK, I think it deserves so much more. If we compare to other crypto projects, if we compare to other SDKs, even also non-blockchain ones, we are playing really at the top here, technologically speaking. So I think we don't have enough developers in our community, and that's our job to change. But I don't know any numbers, how many developers using the SDK at this moment. We only have the NPM download numbers. Not sure right now where they stand for the SDK, but last time I checked, they were hovering around 150 per week. However, we have also within the SDK one library which is called Lisk Elements, and in it we have like quite a few different blockchain libraries, and one of them is, for example, Lisk Transactions or Lisk Cryptography, and there we see really quite a few downloads. Like it's insane. So I think just today on Lisk.chat it was discussed that this is actually the metric we should go for. And Miguel just gets me the download numbers for this week. There's 109 on the Lisk SDK side, but I think on the Lisk transaction side, it's hovering in the thousands. So I don't actually know who's downloading it so many times. But like I said, we need to do more. But if it would be 100 developers joining our community and then actively doing something, that would be enough already for me. I think it's much less than that. But like just one developer can make quite a big difference in our ecosystem. So we're pushing hard. And that's why this just happened, hackathon, the grant program, and so on.
Yeah, I think also talking with other people in the industry, reaching out to developers and trying to attract developers, especially blockchain developers, is very tricky. But once you convince them, my feeling is that they stay. And that's also what we are trying to do with the community now, to engage a bit more with the developers joining Lisk.chat. And of course, the Hack on Lisk, I think, in my opinion, will bring quite a few developers in our community, also because they come from a different platform that's already built community there. So I think it will benefit us long term.
I mean, we are operating in a niche industry. There are not too many developers probably looking into that right now, but it's also our goal to attract totally new developers into our industry who never did anything with blockchain before. But it is very challenging, as you said. But yeah, it's a great challenge to take on, and really looking forward to the progress we make in the coming years. I think the story changes a little bit when our platform is live. Right now, like developers need some kind of like monetization model or so, but if they cannot really put their application live, so why should they really start? It changes a bit with the grant program, but I think once the platform is really live, we can make a bigger impact here.
Yeah, also the examples that will come out of the grant program, and hopefully also the Lisk Center Berlin, where we are based now. Once we are able to get more developers and even talk to them face to face, that will also help. Have them here built on Lisk would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. The next one is from Shemer. When can we expect issues or epics regarding the Lisk SDK 6.0 to show up on GitHub?
I don't know that. So we're currently in the planning process. I see quite a few like knowledge sharing, requirement gathering meetings, design specification meetings happening or being scheduled left and right. It's really like quite an effort with many people involved. And only once all this is done, the end result or the final step is the creation of the epics and then the creation of the issues for these epics. That's the last step. So I really don't know any time frame here. We are working on it. And this is very important to get right, because the better job we're doing now, the faster the implementation goes later. So I would rather say this should take some time longer than shorter, because this really sets the foundation for the upcoming development work. I actually also can't remember how long it took with Lisk 3.0 or with the different SDK versions, 5, 4, and 3. But I guess we are looking at several weeks at least here.
Yeah. Next question, what sets Lisk apart from its competitors?
So it always depends who you see as a competitor. Internally, we have defined 2 projects as our core or primary competitors. That's Cosmos and Polkadot. So let's compare these projects on a very high level for the time being. So Cosmos is more like a US-based like project with an office here in Berlin as well. Polkadot is quite European, more Berlin-based, also with an office in Berlin, and the founder also living in Berlin. And then Lisk is, well, also quite Berlin-based, with Lightcurve being in Berlin. I'm living in Berlin. So everyone somehow, each of these projects seem to be somehow based in Berlin, with each of their foundations based in Zug, Switzerland. So that's a similarity, but where are the differences? So Lisk is built completely with JavaScript and TypeScript. Cosmos is built completely with Golang or Go. And Polkadot is completely written in Rust. So the programming languages all differ. With Golang and Rust, you have compilation times each time. With JavaScript, TypeScript, you don't have it. So there's a different development process happening because of that. That's one of the biggest differences, I would say. Then all of these projects stem from their own founding teams, stem from their own research team, and so on. So they have like many, like near unlimited differences on the code level, different consensus algorithms, different like BFT algorithms, different blockchain systems and databases which store the blockchain states. Everything is basically different because they're different projects. But the end goal is always very similar, in order to build, well, your own blockchain on which you're then building your blockchain application. Or like how I explained it at Lisk.js, essentially you can build your own D app on your own native blockchain right into the protocol of it. And that's why we are calling it generally a blockchain application. So the differences are really manifold. I think what I can just suggest is take a look at our documentation and just get started. And I guarantee you, within 1 day, you are up and running, and you already developed your own blockchain after 1 day. And then you can start playing around with our tutorials, try out like the NFT tutorial or the Lisk name service tutorial, which is in video format from Lisk.js, from Nazar. and just see how it behaves, how it feels to you. And then jump over to Cosmos and Polkadot and start getting your hands dirty there as well. In my opinion, they have a higher learning curve, a more steep learning curve in the beginning, just because of the fact that we are written in JavaScript and it's just so accessible. And from the beginning, this was our main focus. But else, it's just very different projects, just the end goal is the same. I know that Polkadot has, for example, pellets, which are like modules where blockchain logic can be written in. We have the same, we just call them either custom modules or plugins if it's off-chain. So yeah, to give really a deep answer, you should really just give it a try yourself. You cannot just explain the differences outright. However, we internally always take a look at these projects. I don't want to know how many of those also watched Lisk.js, but we always take a look at their projects and their efforts. They're great projects. They're making valuable contributions to the blockchain industry. So we're seeing how we compare and how we can make Lisk even better. So I guess this competition is really healthy for the entire blockchain industry, just to progress and advance and just be able to deliver the best technology possible. And well, we really want to add something to the website somewhere this year, where we compare also the Lisk SDK, but also the Lisk platform to the Polkadot SDK substrate and the Polkadot ecosystem, and to Cosmos SDK and their ecosystem, just to give people like the person who asked the question a better insight how Lisk differs. But it's really complicated to answer that question.
Yeah, I think it was really great for me to see actually team members of those projects joining Lisk.js 2019. It showed actually that we are in the same boat and we learn from each other. But I think what sets us apart is in overall is the accessibility, as you mentioned, Max. So I think it's definitely something that people can see themselves. Mm-hmm. Also, for the competition, another question was Polkadot and Cardano have been gaining a lot of momentum. So why do you think this is? Or is it marketing, performance, or is it just luck? As a community member from Japan who is there at midnight and says that it's very sleepy. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I hope to be back in Japan soon. So Cardano and Polkadot. So, well, first of all, these projects come from, I wouldn't call them powerful, but very knowledgeable, extremely intelligent, and publicly known founders. Cardano comes from Charles Hoskinson, and Polkadot comes from Gavin Wood. And, well, I know both of them. They both are probably one of the most intelligent people in the world. And they're creating great projects. And I think their success is due to many different factors. Once they are extremely technical and methodologically, or I can't pronounce that word, in their approach. So they're making really good software, good technology. Two, they are also co-founders of Ethereum. So they bring a lot of knowledge from back in the day with them, and they knew from the get-go how to do things, how to approach certain topics. And with that, I assume they also brought a lot of capital into these projects to, well, finance it or to make it more attractive on the price side. I don't know. But it's definitely a very powerful play and advantage from their side. What I just feel like is, Lisk's biggest advantage is this accessibility. It feels like really they have the technology, the cryptography, the mathematical knowledge, but they don't have this much the user experience in their minds. And I think that's really like one of our core advantages, trying to do everything as simple and easy as possible for the developer, but also for the user. So I'm really curious to see how they are improving in that regard. I know that there's one, I'm not sure, Arabic venture capitalist firm, which invested really a lot of money, like, I'm not sure, like several tens or maybe like $100 million or so into Cardano and Polkadot. And I guess that was one of the reasons why it went up so dramatically. So that I would say was a very business development like effort, very good move from them. But on the software, on the technology, even though they have this very strong background, I think they are very on the same level as Lisk. Polkadot has just a more adopted ecosystem because they started with the grant program sooner. They have it running since nearly day one, I think. That's why the ecosystem is just much more developed than ours. We are just starting with the grant program today or a few weeks ago. And Cardano, I guess actually their ecosystem is not that huge in terms of developers. They just have a lot of hype and like somehow promise. Like Charles is doing a great job with this YouTube channel, and he's very strategically positioned to make Cardano a success. Yeah, I think the main difference is just like actually that they started things in a different way, certain things earlier than we did, pushed much more with their much bigger financial resources. I think they both have like into the billions in funds available. So yeah, that's where their strong points lie. But I think Lisk is so well positioned to grab like this like interest of some developers to build amazing blockchain applications in JavaScript with, that we really have a chance. You know, we're basically the underdog against the giants, and technologically speaking, we're not worse. We have less funding, but we have an extremely intelligent team. Our 5 PhDs in research are doing a great job. Every developer is doing a tremendous job as well. So yeah, it's just different timing, different circumstances, which caused them to be more successful price-wise than we are.
Yeah, but we are here to stay and to become better and better. So yeah, we are together in this.
Yeah, I mean, we have funds available for 10 years. We're pushing hard. We're developing the products further every single day. Our community is growing. And well, I have to say, the underdog has always more upside potential than those giants. So I think Lisk is a very attractive project for everyone.
Yeah. Another question comes from Yuri from Lisk Center Utrecht about the grant program. So for planning purposes, he wants to know when can we expect a yes or a no when we apply? Is there any specific time frame after the deadline closes?
So I guess like when you apply, we will send a little bit back and forth, maybe ask some further questions or request further documents. And then every single team will have to jump on a call with us in order to pitch their idea to us. However, we are already pre-filtering. So if the application is not serious enough for our taste, then we will like not even like invite the team into this call and tell them, hey, first polish your application in these regards. But like your submission in these regards. But if it's a promising submission, then we will let you know to schedule this call, and latest by the end of the wave, we are going to let everyone know if they were picked or not. And I'm being shown here the dates. So the first wave ends on the 31st of July. And that's essentially the last date possible. It is already, however, possible that you get contacted before that in order to figure out the last details. So. But Yuri, I hope that you're applying with an amazing blockchain application. Really looking forward to your submission.
Yeah, we will definitely reach out with an answer.
Yeah, we're all waiting.
Okay, cool. Then the next question is from Ultrafresh. Do you have any predictions for the new delegate landscape, or what do you hope it will look like? For example, do you see there being high sharing pools, or what those that share 0% but develop a lot?
So I think it will be very chaotic in the beginning. So we have this 1 week period where just a fixed set of delegates will be taken from the old Lisk 2.0 blockchain and being kept there for 1 week for the new blockchain with the mainnet version 3. But then afterwards, so predictions. Looking at the current distribution or the current amount of LSK tokens used to vote on the network, I estimate that you require around 400,000 LSK, maybe 500,000 LSK to become an active delegate. And this can come from many different people who vote for you or from your own LSK funds. And with that, I think we will have quite a mixed approach or quite a mixed choice of delegates. There will certainly be some exchanges jumping on board of this opportunity to use some of their users' funds to become a delegate and then distribute it to their users. However, they can never use all their funds because a delegate has to lock their LSK tokens for 1 month if they're a delegate. If they are voting for one of their own delegates, it's a few hours, but I'm not sure about the legalities here, but I'm sure some will do it, but never with their entire amount of funds. But that's then like a sharing pool, and I guess exchanges nearly always share near everything. Then you will have just individuals like sharing pools as a business essentially, who or which try to get a delegate slot in order to share it back to the users, but taking in a fee. Quite sure we will have that as well. Again, very high sharing percentage because that's their main business model. And then you will have projects which are developing like a blockchain application, and they are essentially going online and say, hey, this is my project, this is my idea. We need funding. We really would like to become a delegate in order to fund our continuous development. And I'm quite sure many community members will vote for these kind of delegates as well. So I'm quite sure we will see these kind of delegates in the top 101 as well. And then you will have people which are just very rich and decide, okay, I want to run one delegate. I have so many LSK. It's essentially my right to do so. And that's why I'm using my own LSK tokens in order to vote myself up into the top 101. And I don't share anything and all of that. So I'm guessing we will see these kind of delegates as well. And that's where it's up to the community to really vote, to make use of your voice, essentially, of your LSK tokens, to vote for the most promising and beneficial for the Lisk ecosystem delegates. I guess also there will be some delegates which are anonymous, and they are in the top because they come from very powerful backgrounds. I have a lot of LSK tokens then, but they just distribute their funds they receive, donated to community members. I'm quite sure this will happen as well. So it will be very mixed. What's currently the case with delegates being in a group, all voting for each other, this will not be the case anymore. So that problem of cartels is solved. I'm very, very certain of that. And then these delegates which share the reward, but only like 20% or 40%, they will disappear as well. That's not, I think, maintainable unless they bring the LSK tokens themselves. Like a sharing pool as a delegate will have to share much more than that in order to be in the top 101. That's my prediction.
Yeah, cool. Speaking about predictions or future, M and H is asking, any big partnerships soon?
That's like the standard question, right? Every time. So we are looking into some let's say collaborations with entities which are also building developer hubs. So we're checking what we can do there in order to attract more developers into our ecosystem. That's one effort we are leading right now, as we have like a partnership, a collaboration with Waxman in order to get us more media placements. We had a few media partnerships for Lisk.js, and we will continue to have them for our next bigger events. We have quite a few partners with the Hack on Lisk, with the online hackathon, in terms of judges, but also in terms of just partners trying to spread the word. For example, We Are Developers is one here to mention, which is one of the biggest developer conferences in Germany or Europe. So like really, we are doing that, but again, like always, same answer. We're not doing partnerships just for the sake of it, to pump the price, to have somehow a big name behind us. We're not doing that. There's no reason to do that. So always these partnerships, or like I see like cryptocurrencies with a chief of partnerships, a COP. That's not necessary. We are a serious project and not here just to pump it up. So yeah, we're having some for our great efforts, but and we're looking into new collaborations with these developer hubs in order to attract more people into the Lisk Center Berlin, but also into our community. But yeah, more than that, not currently.
Yeah, I think We Are Developers is really a good example. We work together for already many years, or 3 years. And for Lisk Center Berlin, definitely with local developer communities. And I think the same in the Lisk Center Utrecht. So with the team there, super hardworking to get as many developers as possible through different partnerships. So yeah, a lot of things, exciting things coming up. Speaking about that, people are asking about Lisk Center Berlin. So how many people are currently here?
Well, 3. We have Miguel, which you can't see. We have Monica and myself. It's not open due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, still raving here in Berlin. And we're looking forward to opening it actually quite soon. Monica has a few words there maybe to give you a few more details.
Yeah, I don't want to make many promises, but we are working now also with all the regulations and then the last changes or improvements in the Lisk Center. And in the upcoming weeks, we plan to open up Lisk Center Berlin and to hopefully be able to welcome people, of course, respecting all the rules that are currently in Berlin. But of course, things are coming slowly back to normal. So I'm also a bit more optimistic that we can have people here working. We have a lot of space, so also for events, but also for just working in a meeting room or in the working space.
Yeah, I really hope that we are back by next month or so, July, to get the summer season of Berlin, which is always great. And then we really hope that more conferences are happening again in Berlin, and also meetups, so we can host like after events, networking events, or just in general, like maybe some smaller meetups here. And yeah, really hope that then we can, like I mentioned before, work with these developer groups also together. Like there are many like hacker groups and maker spaces and developer meetups and so on we can work together with here in Berlin to attract more people into the space here. But it looks amazing. Just look behind us with Lisk Center Berlin there, our, how is it called, makerspace essentially, with an iMac where you can have the Lisk wallets, a 3D printer, a paper wallet printer, and quite a bit of merchandise. So yeah, really looking forward to opening the space up. We are already starting to clean it up a bit. You don't want to see the other side.
That's the beautiful side.
But yeah, really looking forward to see it open.
Yeah, I think very soon. We are waiting already for some time, but very excited to welcome you all here.
Yeah. And up till just recently, actually, they were renovating the facade, and since just like a week, not even a week, a few days, it's gone. Like this construction site is gone. You can see actually part of the beautiful sky. Maybe it's a bit too bright in the video, but it's all moving forward. Really excited to see it open, and I'm going to work from here, and it's super cool.
Yeah, I think this will also allow people to come from the street now that the construction is over, to just come and learn about blockchain. We will make sure to give them the right resources to just get started.
With the Lisk logo
Yeah.
above the entrance, so everyone sees here's Lisk, but also I think we're going to get like a small Bitcoin logo for the window, illuminated and all of that. So it will be really cool.
Yeah, very excited. The next question is from Romeo. Were you happy with the event views on YouTube? Also, is this going to focus on the developing phone apps and games in the near future?
Developing phone
apps.
Okay. Yes, so Lisk.js for me was a huge success. We had several hundred viewers at the same time throughout the event. Definitely on the first day, on the second day also, which was so much more tech focused. For it being such a niche event just targeted to developers, I think we had a really good turnover. Once the video quit, we also saw how many individuals actually watched the event, but then joined and then left at one point again, and it was into the thousands. So I really think this is a great result for what it is, a developer-focused event for a niche industry, blockchain technology, for one of the projects in that industry. I think it just shows quite a bit. So with the numbers, I'm super happy. Nothing to complain about. We just cut the videos, so everyone can also watch them individually now with the proper description and so on in place. So that's super cool. They will not go away. They will be repurposed for, let's say, our research blog post series, where we will break down each objective, each bigger topic of interoperability, and explain it in more understandable words. There we can then repost the video also to give further context. We will share them again and again throughout the year on Twitter and other social media channels from this. So I think it's great. And as a developer, we also received the feedback that whoever wants to participate in Hack on Lisk, for example, should definitely check out Nazar's demo of building this Lisk name service live on stage. It's giving the latest insights into the Lisk SDK 5.1, which documentation is very short before being ready, but not published yet. So yeah, I'm super happy with the numbers. I'm super happy with the event. It was really fun. The team did a great job. Really professional speeches, really mature, and quite a few of my friends and family members saw it as well, and they were really oh wow, you have really a great team. They really presented these topics very understandable. So I'm super proud. I think everything went tremendously well. No technical issues, nothing like that. Super surprised about that, but very happy, of course. And then, definitely something to repeat every year.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully next time in 2022 also in person, so we can meet the community members. But if we compare with last time, definitely we had lots of people watching the event, and as you said, we can always reuse the videos. And we also talked with VR developers who are also organizing online events, and they also said it's sometimes tough to get people to watch for the whole time online. And to engage with them. So they are a big conference organizers, and they also said our numbers were pretty good. So yeah, also very excited.
Yeah, and I really hope that with the next Lisk.js 2022, we can do physical and live stream. So we have the best out of both worlds. Whoever cannot be in Berlin can watch it live on YouTube. Whoever can be in Berlin can come and speak to us, watch us live on stage, eat the great food there with us, and have a drink later in the afternoon after the event. So really looking forward to the next time. The second point of the question about phone apps or mobile apps and gaming apps, I guess, if we have any plans there. So we are building the SDK. We are building developer tools so that any of these, hundreds of millions of developers worldwide can just jump onto it and build something valuable for the world. That's our focus, that's our effort. And of course, with the platform we're launching through interoperability, we hope to create network effects and synergies between different blockchain applications to bring even more impact into this world. So we're not really focusing on any specific blockchain application use cases. We just provide the tools. But then on the marketing side, of course, we are having like the hackathon, we are having the Lisk Grant Program to push people into certain directions with, for example, the example applications proposed on our website. And that is because we analyzed the current industry and we know what is the most powerful for Lisk currently to grow and what's the most beneficial to our users. And well, that's not that's not so much, that has nothing to do with like mobile apps, phone apps. That's just the interface. An app can run on any device essentially nowadays. It can be run on mobile phones or on desktop computers, on your smartwatch. But if it's about the industry, then gaming is certainly a very interesting use case, or like certain a very interesting direction. For example, with NFTs and collectibles, like examples from the past on Ethereum, for example, CryptoKitties is extremely interesting, and I think we will see some stuff in that direction as well. And for me, I'm like I believe it's today time for mobile first. So if you're building a blockchain app, I would probably always build it first on mobile, simpler user interface. But then again, yeah, maybe at this time still it makes sense to do both. Yeah, it depends on the use case. Not all use cases are optimized or perfect on mobile devices.
Yeah, speaking of apps, another question comes from a community member. When will Lisk have mainstream apps like Metamask and Uniswap or others?
So if Uniswap is mainstream already, then I'd be very happy. I think it's still so niche. We see also that the numbers crashed significantly with the price, like the usage of the D app Uniswap. So there's a correlation, maybe manipulation going on. However, they are like Uniswap is an amazing decentralized application, especially with version 3. The team behind it did a tremendous job in coming up with a better automated market maker. So it's really great tech. Like when this happens for Lisk, so it cannot happen before interoperability is not implemented. Then it will be just an island solution, an independent blockchain, which is super cool, but it will not be part of the Lisk blockchain application platform. And yeah, that's, well, first and foremost, the main priority to finish interoperability implementation so that people can connect their blockchain to the Lisk blockchain, making it the Lisk sidechain. And before that, no real blockchain application can launch and benefit from the platform. And with that, it can obviously also not go mainstream. But I think in order to go mainstream in general with blockchain technology, we're still 5 to 10 years away. Still, like everyone always said back in the day, okay, people will not need to know they're using blockchain. But up to this point, whatever blockchain application got adopted is actually a direct paradigm shift. Like we're not seeing banks adopting blockchain in some way and making the user experience better. No, we're seeing directly wallets where people can be their own bank. Or we don't see like currency like exchanges on the street adopting blockchain tech to make it more efficient or something. No, we see decentralized exchanges totally away from that. So we see not really establishing businesses adopting blockchain. It's more about complete new startups creating complete new use cases with that technology. So it's not even about that, people don't actually know they're using blockchain. We don't see that. So whenever people use blockchain, they actively know about it. For example, with DeFi, everyone who used a DEX or some NFT, they know about it. And I think that's why it will take longer than people expect. But on the other side, with NFTs especially, people know the word. Nearly everyone heard of it already today. It was so big in the news. Well, they only heard about it, but they're not using it. So we're doing really a good job here in just making everything mainstream, the whole industry. But we're still very far away from it.
Yeah, I think we cannot hide the benefits of blockchain as a whole when building those apps and using them. So that's not an option.
Yeah, I think it will be known, very known, yeah.
Another question also related to apps. Are there any plans to develop DeFi apps on Lisk?
So again, then the community can build anything they want. We specifically mention a few DeFi topics like lending, stablecoins, NFT marketplaces, and so on our website for people to build either in the hackathon or in the grant program. So we're definitely pushing into that direction. We want to see that happen. Internally, at Lisk.js, I announced we're going to build 3 blockchain applications to start with, one of them being one of the Lisk bridges, where we're connecting our ecosystem to a third-party ecosystem with candidates being Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, and Cosmos. That will be the first one, but also, well, the first one which you know about, but the last one probably being implemented, because that's for the diamond phase, which happens only after the sapphire phase. But we already also announced that we're going to build 2 blockchain applications ourselves. And well, I cannot reveal anything yet. I said that it's still pending more legal research, but also just research on the technological side. But they are both out of the DeFi space. So yes, we're planning to do it. We're pushing for it in the community. We're pushing for it internally. We want to break into DeFi. We think it's a great use case in general for blockchain tech, and that means also for Lisk. Very promising.
Okay, then the next question, as many popular crypto tokens gain popularity after burning their tokens, do you have any plans to burn Lisk tokens?
Yeah, so probably you're speaking mostly about the Binance Smart Chain or about BNB, where Binance, with the profits they make, buy back some BNB and burn them. So we're not here to pump the price up. We're here to provide a platform for developers to build amazing blockchain applications on. And the number of tokens, the price of the token, doesn't really have anything to do with that. I understand the fact that our market cap should be as high as possible in order to appear as a big project and give developers more trust into us to build with us or on us. Because the longer we survive, the longer we stay relevant, the more brave they can be in their approach and get deeply involved with the Lisk SDK. So that I understand, but pumping the price all the time just for the sake of it, it has nothing to do with attracting developers or anything like that, but is our core mission. But, well, we are having the LSK buyback in order to purchase fresh LSK off the market to incentivize developers in our grant program. We have that. It's not burning, but it is taking them from the market and putting them into the hands of people who have a use for it. Some of them might liquidate them, others might hold on to them, who knows? But that already kind of supports the market. I announced at the very beginning, we're not buying them all at once to create a big surge. We're purchasing the LSK every month on a daily basis to have as little impact on the market as possible, and to just purchase them in a line, like in a good average price over the month. Buybacks, I think, can increase in the future also if they're like, for example, blockchain applications built on our platform, which are making a profit. They can maybe, with that profit, purchase LSK back from the market themselves. Not speaking about us here, but about third parties. Then within sidechains or on these blockchain applications, they could also have like a mechanism where with every profit, they just burn some of the LSK tokens directly, similar to what it is in our new fee system. The dynamic fee system has a burning mechanism where a small amount of LSK is always burned with each transaction. So that's also implemented. But else, yeah, like the Lisk Foundation is not planning to destroy money. Like it rather would use the money to incentivize more developers to build better applications which have impact in this world.
Yeah, basically, I think just showing what is possible with Lisk SDK will definitely show the value of Lisk as a project and as a platform.
Yeah, the value, and normally price always follows value, but very much delayed. So.
So one last question. Will our marketing efforts continue after the event?
No, we're all going home and call it a 5.5-year sprint. No, of course, yeah. Good question, actually, of course. We are continuing with the marketing efforts. They're more than ever before. Monica is making a great effort here, doing a great job in pushing our marketing to the limits. We're doing that with sponsored articles. We're doing that with the hackathon, and this is not the last one. It's just the first one, and there will be many after. Lisk Grant Program will receive quite a bit of attention also to push it to more developers and more entrepreneurs. The Lisk Center Berlin, we just talked about it. We hope can open soon again. There is going to be Lisk updates end of the year. We just made Lisk.com available, so we're pushing that as well to bring more people onto our website. There's so much happening. So really, yeah, marketing is not going to stop. It's actually going to just increase from here on. The budgets are going to be bigger. We're trying to attract more developers into our ecosystem because we're just in a very good time where developers are able to build something and then launch it within a reasonable time frame with interoperability.
Yeah, personally, I'm very excited for what's coming. Also excited to do many other things and see what works. And of course, if you want, you can also check out the recap from the AMA we did last week. Really marketing focused. So many exciting things coming up.
Yeah, and what many people think marketing is actually business development. So like everyone says, okay, when marketing, but marketing is bringing a product to the market, explaining about the product, telling the latest updates, informing the user base with news articles, but then also pulling in new people, attracting new people with hackathons, events, and so on. That's marketing, at least to me. But many people ask about exchange listings, for example. This is for me business development. And this is something we can push, but again, we are a platform for developers. That's our primary focus. But we couldn't do, for example, many exchange listings so far because we're waiting for Lisk mainnet version 3, which comes with a radically new but improved API. And we don't want that exchanges now implement Lisk with the old API and then have to change it again in 1 or 2 months. Or whenever the mainnet is being migrated. So there are a few exchanges contacting us. Just today there was one from China. We're also from some other Asian countries getting messages or actually are in conversation with for quite some longer time already. And essentially they are all waiting for mainnet version 3. It might be that 1 or 2 of them list us before already and then just update the code base later. But that's for now our next big milestone. And that's a lot what people say, okay, when marketing, when more exchange listings. It's more business development focused. And that's coming. Like what many people think marketing is also attracting partnerships. There I already gave an answer before, but it's also more business development. But here again, the focus is on attracting more developers. That means we could partner with developer hubs, events, conferences, meetups to tell them more about Lisk. But it's not going to be like a pointless partnership just to have someone else's logo on our website. But yeah, a lot is planned. Looking forward to the next big event, looking forward to the opening, looking forward to the many, many news articles and blog posts coming in the next months.
Yeah, lots of work, definitely. Yeah, cool. Then that was it for this month's AMA. So thank you everyone for the great questions. Thank you, Max, for answering. We will make sure to publish a recap blog post just so everyone has the answers there. Of course, make sure to check out Lisk.chat and to join our community. We always keep you updated there. Of course, the YouTube channel of Max. And let us know what you think about the new format of the AMA. And if you like it, then we might consider continuing it.
Yeah. Thank you so much also from my side. Thank you, Miguel, for gathering the questions, and to Monica for asking me the questions and also giving a little bit of your input from time to time. Please give your feedback. We really try to improve our communications and transparency. So if you like these live YouTube AMAs, you can do them regularly. It's maybe more accessible to some of you. And my YouTube channel will receive more videos in the coming weeks. I had to put it on hold a little bit because of the Lisk.js event. And please subscribe to my channel so you see the videos popping up, but also subscribe to the official Lisk YouTube channel because there's so much content coming there in the coming months for developers to explain them better how to build blockchain applications with the Lisk SDK. So yeah, thank you so much from my side as well, and have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.